Hello people to my tarot collective. I have a very beautiful Bob Ross candle. I can't give you a better look so I don't spill the wax, but just know the energy, the spirit of Bob Ross is here. Maybe not his actual spirit, but you know, that calming energy. Today we are going to be getting a collective reading. We'll see what comes through. I'm sure the title of this video gave you a hint as to what's to come, but as of right now, I have no idea, except the fact that we have the energy of Bob Ross here. This flew out. The Tower. Okay, so what is the topic of today's reading? Justice. And the Tower did pop out at first. Okay, so we'll keep that there on the bottom of the deck since the Tower does want to be seen. With that, we have the Justice and the World. So I see some type of something is ending. Something is over. What is over? Queen of Swords. Seven of Swords. Mental... What's the opposite of clarity? Mental fogginess. I feel in the past section of your life, past era of your life, there was some spots mentally that were not very clear for you. And I see here with the Tower, those old things that felt very unclear within your mentality are fading away. And now you're able to see the world with a new perspective. Because here with the Justice card, the way the owl is like cocking his head reminds me of the Hanged Man. And the Hanged Man speaks on new perspectives on life. So I see you're starting to see things with a new perspective, and that has changed. It is changing how you approach life and what you view as just or right. Maybe your morals are changing a little bit, or maybe just you're able to see something from a different perspective. Maybe something in the past that you thought was just terrible and evil, like the world is falling apart kind of thing. Now you're starting to see like, okay, maybe I have been approaching this wrong. I want to get a card on what mental perception is changing before Nine of Wands. Okay, so yeah, as I was about to say. So sometimes when we're looking at the world around us, we see all these terrible negative things that are going on. We see genocides, we see wars, we see climate change, we see the destruction of Mother Earth, and we see all these terrible things that make us feel terrible ways. But I see now that you have a new perspective on life, maybe you started to understand that the oneness or duality of everything. Now that you're starting to see that and understand it, it's clearing up some of that mental fog. Some of that stuff that used to stress you out will no longer be stressing you out. Maybe your sense of faith has deepened. So now the fact that, yes, the planet is warming up and that has big effects on species and the weather and all of these things are happening. You see like, oh, yes, all of this is happening, and yes, it is a result of human doing, you know, whether it be like construction, factories, pollution, all that. Yes, we acknowledge all that is happening. And I think maybe before you were like, oh, this is terrible, this world is a terrible place to be. But now with this new perspective that you have, it's more like, okay, the world has always had something going on. Like there's always been disease. There was the Ice Age where the world was crazy cold and that killed off a bunch of species. And you're starting to see the more cyclical things of everything. And one thing I feel called to explain to you right now is what I was talking about when I said oneness and duality. So basically, in order for something to exist, the opposite must also exist. It's easy to think of it in terms of light and dark. If darkness did not exist, we wouldn't know that light exists, or maybe light wouldn't exist at all. We wouldn't have the description word of light because we didn't know that darkness existed. It would just be. There wouldn't be the word light without the word dark, because if things were light all the time, there would be no contrast to the light. Sorry, I need some water. And the same thing goes for darkness. Like, let's look at this card. Very black and white, literally. So This dark black part of the card could not exist without the white black card. Whoa. The dark part of the card could not exist without the light part of the card, because if this dark part did not exist, it would just be completely white. And there would be no contrast. There would be nothing on this card. It would be blank. And there would be no description of that. If that makes sense. Like, if this card had no dark on it, there would be nothing to this card. There would be no essence of it. You could describe it as blank, but blank also wouldn't exist without fullness, right? Without clutter. Without clutter, cleanliness would not exist, because it would just be a state of being without a descriptive word. You could also think of it in like happiness and sadness. Like, a lot of people contemplate, like, well, why does suffering even exist? Suffering must exist because pleasure exists. If there was no suffering, there would be no pleasure. It's the whole contrast and spectrum of a thing that makes it exist. So I'll repeat it one more time. Something cannot exist without the opposite existing. But the fact that both of these things exist make it like on a spectrum. There's a spectrum from sadness to happiness, right? Like, there's middle emotions, and that becomes oneness. This whole spectrum between light and dark, that is oneness, because it's one spectrum. It's like the two sides of one coin kind of thing, if that makes sense. So I think you're starting to understand this, and it's changing your worldview, and you're starting to contemplate, well, what really matters? Does anything matter? What does it mean if nothing matters? Like, there's a whole lot of philosophy that your mind is being open to right now, because you were able to see things from this new perspective, the justice perspective. And we have the Joker on the bottom, which is like the Fool card. So yes, you are new, and you got two Jokers. Wow. Nice. Yeah, you're brand new, baby. You got a new understanding of the world. And this might be causing some kind of internal tower moment, because you're like, okay, reality high key isn't even what I thought reality was. I just recently posted a video about life is a movie. Life is the greatest movie ever. If you're interested and resonate with what is going on here, I would highly recommend, I'll have it linked in the description. I would recommend watching that video where I kind of explain more of how I perceive the world, and maybe that'll help you understand how you are starting to perceive the world, because I am seeing a shift in your understanding of how things work, which is awesome. Your mind is expanding, and through this expansion, you are becoming more clear, less foggy, and you're starting to see through things that may have been illusions that held you back previously, and now you're breaking through the illusion, and you're like, wow, life is much more expansive than I had previously thought. And it's a journey. It's a journey that I'm still on. I still have a lot of questions, a lot of things to explore. I think I will be exploring life until the day I die. But hey, that's what life's all about, right? Right. Okay, anything else before I go? Eight of Swords. Eight of Swords is like mental entrapment. And that fell right on your Queen of Swords. So, mental entrapment, what about it? Queen of Swords. Okay. Ace of Pentacles. There's a lot of cards here, but we're going to see the ones that just wanted to show themselves. So you got the Queen of Swords twice in two different decks. So this is a lot about your mentality and how things are changing for you. Okay, and you're seeing how mental entrapment has kept you in loops before, or prevented you from doing things that you want to do. Really what's going on is your perception of what is possible is expanding. And here with the Nine of Swords, King of Wands, Ace of Pentacles. Okay, so what I'm getting with that is now you are able to tear through old perceptions, things that used to make you anxious and questions you used to have and things that used to hold you back. You can now look at those things and acknowledge them as like a mental entrapment. Like, oh, that is a cage that my brain was in that can now be released. and that is going to open you up to your passions and some kind of new beginning for you. It's like, since you have this new mentality, you're able to do new things and accomplish new things and believe new things. And that's where the Tower is coming in. The old you is just falling away, and you have this whole new perception of life, and you're just getting used to that now. You're opening up to like, okay, well, what does all this even mean? How do I apply this practically? Do I want to apply this practically? Like, is this something I want? You got a lot of questions. And yeah, I think that's it for the reading. Your mind is opening, old past limiting perceptions are falling away, and now you are opening up to just curiosity and what is new and what are you able. I want to see what's behind these. Another king. Ooh, a mystery card. You got the mystery card. But you'll love it. You'll love this journey. It's going to just be really good for you emotionally, passionately, mentally, like all around. This is a very exciting journey that you are starting. So that is the whole reading. I will do one quick recap before I go. So basically, you are going through a internal Tower moment where your perception of the world and what is just and what is correct and what is possible, lots of things that encompass your worldview are changing. You had a big shakeup. I don't know what this was for you, but something has changed your perception on life, and you've started to see a lot of illusions around you, and you started to notice what's an illusion. And as you're noticing what is an illusion, you are gaining more mental clarity and freeing your brain from any kind of mental entrapments that may have been placed on you by other people, systems, past experiences. You are freeing yourself from these mental entrapments. And as you do that, you will be able to look at these old mentalities that used to want to stress you out and approach them in a new way. And that's going to start a whole new life for you, something more passionate, something that you love. And I'm seeing a lot less fear. You're releasing yourself from a lot of fear, and things that used to hold you back will no longer hold you back. And you were just exploring this new version of self, because this new version of self is so open-minded and so expanded that is going to take some time for you to fully grasp what you got actually going on inside. It's like, this has started. You are in a new cycle, but this cycle runs so deep that it's going to take you some time to sort through things and discover what your priorities now are, because maybe you also have some kind of like priority changes now that you are looking at the world through a new lens. So yeah, be patient with yourself as you're going through this journey, because it's a very long journey. And that is everything I have for you today. If you want more readings from me, feel free to subscribe, because I do post quite often. And I also post art healing, where I heal energy through my hands and through art that is visual on the screen. And also, what am I saying? Also, I speak on my own personal spiritual philosophies and whatnot. So if you want to hear more of that from me, please do subscribe. Feel free to comment if you have any questions. And with that being said, I love you. You have a nice day, and goodbye.